Join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call this meeting of West Burlington City Council to order. Roll call.
Crowner.
Oh, I'm here.
Raleigh.
Here.
Stewart. Here. Lees.
I'm here.
West.
Where's here?
8, to perfect and approve the agenda.
Well, so moved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Stewart. Aye. Lees.
Aye.
West. Crowner.
Aye.
Carried. Consent agenda.
There it is.
Motion to approve as presented.
Support.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 10, which are the minutes of the regular city council meeting on July 18th. Approve IT Administrator Newberry's attendance at the cell phone technology and forensic data recovery certification training. Approve of payment to ACO. Approve of payment to Great River Medical Center. Approve payment to Norm's Electric. Approve payment to Northern Tool Equipment. Approve payment to Osborne Plumbing. Approve payment to Quad City Analytical Services. Approve the clerk's monthly financial report for June 2012, and approve the claims as presented in the amount of $141,600.79. I'll dispense with reading them because I know Councilmember Raleigh was want to get out of here a little earlier, so I'll read those the next time. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Stewart. Aye. Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Carried. Next thing on the meeting is proclamation 2012 Pink Heels Tour, Care Enough to Wear Pink Days, October 25th through 27th, 2012. Whereas Guardians of the Ribbon Incorporated DBA Pink Heels Tour is a national nonprofit organization consisting of firefighters, police officers, and leaders in the community whose sole purpose is raising awareness for the fight against cancer. And whereas in September 2007, the Pink Heels Tour Cares Enough to Wear Pink began encouraging public safety of professionals, local leaders, and citizens throughout the community to wear pink in honor of all women and to join forces to help them in their fight against cancer. And whereas the spirit of this campaign is to fight for those who have lost the ability to fight for themselves, asking the public support and raising understanding and awareness to all citizens. And by keeping the proceeds in your community, you can help and provide love, hope, and support to your neighbor or community nonprofit supporting all types of cancer. And whereas anything is possible when good people devote themselves to a cause that does so much good and benefits so many. And whereas the Cares Enough to Wear Pink Heels campaign honors all women and recognizes the need to come together as a collective group and help with the fight against cancer, reminding future generations that people who are not affected by an illness can come together for those who are. Now, therefore, I, Hans K. Trousel, Mayor of the City of West Burlington, do hereby proclaim October 25th through 27th, 2012 as the Cares Enough to Wear Pink Days. Committee reports. Finance.
Nothing new, sir. I don't know about Leslie or Dan.
They have anything for finance? I know a couple of meetings ago you guys were wanting to have some work sessions. Are you wanting to have one next week since one or two of you might be gone?
I will be gone.
Rich said he was going to be gone. I know Rod's going to be gone, so is there anything want to put on a work session? We'll have one, doesn't matter.
Do we have anything big coming up that it might be on the next agenda?
Not that I know of.
Rod, when do you get back?
Later.
Not the next day.
I'll tell you off air.
Well, if something comes up, we'll get something going. Streets.
Just that Randy's back
Glad to have him back. I don't have anything offhand, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Randy, but...
I don't have anything tonight.
Dan?
I don't have anything for that.
No, sir.
Do I have anything for streets? Public safety.
I don't have anything, but the chiefs are here.
I just got a couple of things. The radios that were back ordered in May arrived, and they got put in this week and last week into the 2 squad cars that remained. So all the squad cars are now narrowband compliant. And because of the extreme heat this year, National Night Out has been changed from August 7th to October 2nd. West Burlington Police will be working with Burlington Police Department on this event. Officer Covert will be registering bicycles at the West Burlington School Open House on August 14th from 4 to 6:30 p.m. Then he'll meet up with Lieutenant Grimshaw of the Burlington Police Department. Will be conducting an introductory neighborhood watch class for a neighborhood in Burlington. This should give Officer Covert some pointers on how to create a successful neighborhood. See if there's any interest in neighborhood watch, maybe this fall or next spring. So that's about it.
I think that's a good idea, Frank. 'Cause our neighborhoods have changed dramatically in the last couple of years.
Yes, they have, and hopefully we'll get some interest from citizens and get some support.
Mike?
Buildings, Wally Day, the third building going up. Sheet rock's underway on the interior. We had a couple issues with the firewalls, and it's being corrected. 4 more additional changes to the Klein Center. Our complaints are being handled, and complaints are up right now. Last 2 weeks, I've been inundated with complaints. Courts, we have 3 active cases in the courts, and we added one additional one today. We have 34 active building permits. On the school, the interior walls are completed. Electrical and duct work is underway. The exterior work is in its final phases. And late this afternoon, I met with a couple representatives from MediaCom on a site visit out on West Mount Pleasant on a new building that they're looking at. Basic cost estimate is $200,000 for the building and about $21 million worth of electronics inside it. And they're moving it from where it burnt the lightning strike a few months ago. On the fire side, repairs are completed to engine 2 and 3, and they did now pass their pump test certification for 2012. And the 4 new AEDs are in service on the rigs. That's all I got.
Do I have anything for the chiefs? Okay. Utilities, Carol?
All I have is remind everyone that the Pink Heels event is coming up August 16th. From 4 to 8, it's going to be a family evening after school, kind of a health and awareness event for cancer. And we'll have about 8 to 10 trucks from the national tour here that night.
You think there'll be that many, really?
Wow.
And where at?
Oh, sorry, Community Field over next to the pool. Did you have anything?
I don't have anything tonight.
Do I have anything for utilities? Sanitation.
Nope, I don't have anything there. A couple things coming up.
Nope, I don't have anything tonight.
Have anything for them? Long sirens tonight. Other staff report. Kelly, you got anything? Leslie? No. All righty. Moving on to citizens' inquiries. Anyone wishing to address the council on matters we don't have on the agenda tonight, or do have on the agenda tonight, please step forward. Nobody's wrong. I got you next, Cherry. All right. We'll go to the public hearing. We'll have a public hearing to update the public on the Bridgeway CDBG project. Open the public hearing. Did we receive any written comments? All right. Sherry, you want to give us an update? Or Susan? Yeah. Hop up and state your name and where you're from.
Sure. Sherry Jones with Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Commission, and I acted as grant administrator to the Bridgeway project. They received some grant funding, and one of the requirements is that I hold a public hearing to basically update the public on the status of the project. The project was to renovate a 3,600 square foot existing building for Bridgeway Inc. in order to bring a variety of services to serve people with disabilities under one roof. There have been no extensions on this project. The project end date currently is December 31st, 2020, with the exception of one cabinet and range hood that needs installed. The cabinet should be received and installed in mid-August. The grant in the amount of $152,350 is coming from a community development block grant from the Iowa Economic Development Authority, and the local match was coming directly from Bridgeway Inc. This project is benefiting the low moderate income, and the City of West Burlington has a Residential Anti-Displacement Relocation Act in place for those residents who may have to relocate due to the project. No residents had to relocate so far during the project. There is $48,516 left of the Community Development Block Grant money to spend.
Any questions?
What would you spend that leftover money on?
The project has the rest of the construction money that they have already expended will be reimbursed once they pay the final invoices.
How soon are they ready to serve clients in?
They already are,
Really?
as of July 1st.
Do you know how many they have?
That I don't know.
Any questions, comments?
Went quick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bring Susan along for support, or? I'll close the public hearing. New business. Item number 1 is consider renewing a 3-year right-of-way permit for McLeod USA Telecommunications.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Already cashed the check.
Stewart.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
These will come to you every 3 years for anybody that has a right-of-way permit in the city limits, so it's just an ongoing renewal. It has to be done every 3 years. If you go any longer than that, then you have to hold public hearings and go through another process to do a 5-year.
Well, I can see they go 5-year or 25.
That's why typically they don't do 5 years, because you have to go through some other steps. So they just most of them do a 3-year. We'll have a new one coming to you in the next couple weeks from McLeod. They're going to do it, some new installation.
Okay. Did vote, didn't we?
Yeah.
Item number 2 is consider purchase tires for the dump truck, approximately $4,700.
Motion to approve. Support it.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Stewart.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is consider renting a John Deere grader for the amount of weekly rental is $31.90 a week. Randy, how long do you think you need this?
Just 1 week. Brad got all the shoulders rocked this week, and
Seen that.
if you get this approved next week, we're gonna try to have that here so he can start shaping that. I'm gonna talk to DOT about borrowing a roller from them, and hopefully we can go 3 or 4 more years again without having to have the expense of renting one of those.
I seen that today coming back in on Mount Pleasant Street. Looks good.
So moved.
Support.
Got a motion with support. Any other discussion? Roll call.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Stewart.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 4 is consider a request from the police department to sell 2 out of the service squad cars on govdeals.com.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Crowner,
Aye.
Raleigh,
Aye.
Stewart. Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 5 is consider the final reading of an ordinance amending the auctioneer licensing.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Stewart. Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Carried. Item number 6 is discuss options for the Federal Emergency Management Safer Grant 2012. It's the grant that we've received, and part of that grant is to be used for salary and benefits for 2 years. What is the recommendation is to get you some help on this, Mike?
Yeah. I've had a couple of council people come in and talk to me about it. Dan and I have talked about it, and it's a 2-year hiring, covers 100% salary, benefits, uniforms, the whole thing for 2 years. And at that time, we can decide if we want to keep the position, bump it to part-time, or eliminate it. The old Safer grants used to, they did it over 5 years, and at the end of the 5 years, you had to sign and say that you would keep them on for a few years. Now they don't. They give you everything you need for 2 years, and then at that time, you can reevaluate where you're at and go from there. This person with the federal grant would be working more on the fire prevention side and pre-plans and those kind of things, which right now is less than 10% of my time right now because I am just too busy with other things. And this would definitely boost that. We'd do away with the self-inspection forms, and we'd be in the businesses each year doing regular fire inspections.
I know the conversation or two that we had about it, and I don't claim to know very much about what it is you do down there, Mike, but the self-inspection forms really bother me. We would have a lot better data without self-inspection forms, in your opinion?
Absolutely. This is the first place I've ever worked at that we did self-inspections. Liability's way too big. We've always, every place I've been, we've either did company inspections or we had a fire marshal or somebody doing them. And they were in the businesses yearly and did the follow-ups to make sure that they were completed when they found the deficiencies.
Having another employee on staff just goes against what I would want to do, but as you just said, after 2 years, we can decide what to do. But meanwhile, during those 2 years, we would have the opportunity to get out there and inspect everything. And if we just got that done, it's free.
That's right.
More than well worth doing. So I'm all on board on this, absolutely.
Is this another FEMA grant?
Yep.
This is part of that.
The only thing that I...
Wait a minute.
No, go ahead.
There seems to be
Is this,
confusion there.
this is part of that.
No, the one we
This
got
is
awarded
the
was,
next year's one.
This is the next year's one.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is a different one. You'd said something about this as
Yeah.
part of the
I
grant.
thought it was part of
I
this
understood
one.
it to be a brand-new grant.
this is a brand new grant. It has to be in by August the 10th.
Okay.
And we're done, basically what we're doing with the Safer grant, this for 2012 is we're dealing more with on training, getting more money for trainings, being able to go to more schools and things like that, more officer development. We're working that way. We can't go back and touch anything that we were approved for in 2011 for 4 years. We can't touch the salaries. We can't touch anything that has to do with. Only thing we can do is go for more trainings and those kind of things, and that's what we're after on the 2012. We got to this point, and I'm just looking for direction, yay or nay. We can hit the delete button and do away with it. We're still going to go after the Safer grant for training and things, but we got to this point, and I approached Dan with it, and we discussed the pros and cons, and we decided that we would come to the council to get, you know, whatever they wanted to do, what their feelings were, is how we would do it. We'd either hit the delete button or let it go on through, and again, no guarantees we're going to get it. You know, there's
Well, the only thing that I have on it against, we had FEMA on a grant last time. That was nice of it. The taxpayers were great to give that stuff out. But on this one, I just see a lot of other fire station, city council people and everything else, and we hired you to be able to do this. The other thing is that if like Gulfport or Oakville or somebody that really needs help, I think this would be a good option to help them out instead of us using it. Down the road, if it really runs into a bind and that's something in there, and I already talked to Dan about this, is that maybe we need to look at 2 different people to run things. But I just, I know that the government's trying to just send a lot of government jobs out and pay them, but I just think this would be something for somebody else to pick up and be able to use and to help them out.
What are the cons?
Hmm?
What are the cons of this grant?
The 2 years, after 2 years deciding where,
That's it?
that's basically it.
Yeah, that's it. And at first, I was like, well, who would want to do it? But I guess if somebody is just out of school and wanted to get 2 years under their belt and build a resume, it'd be, then they move on. We're kind of a small town. We do that anyway. This way we get that for free. We don't train them and on our dime, and they move on. And so, or somebody at the end of their career too, but they might want to come and work a little bit. So, as long as we aren't bound to anything past that, I don't see any harm in doing it. It's like Dan says, it gets a job done that we could get done.
The only, con would if you decide not to be, if you lose the funding, if you don't have any funding, you have to lay the person off of being unemployment.
Yeah, So
We'd have some expense there if they.
that's what I was going to bring up, and I'd rather somebody else do it.
And this grant's for 2 people for 2 years,
No,
or one person for 2
One person,
years?
2 years.
Okay.
One person, 2 years. And again, there's no guarantee we're going to get it even if we apply for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're one of 150 or 300 or 900 that go for it, and there's only so much money, and well, we're still going to apply for the safer under training to increase our
Understand.
training funds and things like that.
And what's
But-
that consist of?
What's that?
What's that consist of? The other part of the grant?
The training
Oh, just,
for the volunteers, yeah.
okay.
Just give them more money for schooling and things like that. Well, we'd like to send them to FDIC, send them to Firehouse Expo in Baltimore, where they do hands-on and things like that more. Training through traditions. We did the truck company classes and the pumper company classes and those kind of things. We need funding for that, and that's what we're putting in for.
Okay.
This is just one other section of it that I'm just looking for input from the council, one way or the other. I mean, we can either hit delete or we can hit send. It makes no difference. It's going to be sent anyway, but it's whatever you guys want to do with this position. This is the first time it's been offered for a prevention person under SAFER, and I thought I would bring it to you to see what happened.
And I haven't got anything from Skylar.
I gave it to you in your box. The whole application's in your box.
Okay.
Mike, you said something about uniforms, and are you, if you get this grant and if we hire this person, are you envisioning this person being a fire department employee?
Well, you'd have to have some fire because it would be in the fire prevention field, is what we're looking at.
So this person isn't going to be able to help you with city nuisances and things like that?
Oh, they could, yeah, but as far as the grant's concerned, 90% of their job is fire prevention.
Okay.
The other 10% could be nuisances, could be systems inspections, new building construction inspections, but the focus of it has got to be over.
Would this person be expected to be a volunteer firefighter, somebody also fighting fires?
He could. He could be multifaceted, if that's what the city wants to do with him.
Just,
Yeah, daytime-wise, absolutely, it'd be nice. But their certifications and things would be on the inspection side, and systems and structures and those kind of things would be the focus of this grant.
Well, the pro is it's free if we get it. That's a good thing. The con is we have a very bad habit of getting things like this and then keeping them and turning them into something bigger and better and more expensive yet, that I guess would somewhat scare me. But, yeah, it's hard to turn down something if you can get a grant for it and it's free. And I guess we can argue down the road in a couple years when the funding goes away and the craziness stops, whether we can afford to keep such a thing or not.
It's just an option, and I wanted to bring to the council after Dan and I talked just to get the input. I mean, we're gonna go on one way or the other, so.
Absolutely.
But this is just one area that we're only spending about 10% of our time, and it's usually in the wintertime when I'm trying to get back and do things. But the way construction looks like and the phone calls I'm receiving, it may be less this year. So something's gotta give, and before something, like I said in the memo, before something actually really does fall through the cracks,
Yeah, and
we need to address it.
having filled out those self-inspection forms, there's a ton of leadway in there for.
Well, I've already gone back to a few buildings and just walking through thinking, yeah, you pencil whipped it, you know, but
Yeah.
I don't have the time or the people to do it.
Absolutely. Okay.
I can't do company inspections, and we're doing hydrants now just because of the issues that we had, and it's pretty much taxing us now to get them completed before when the weather cools down, we're going back to training big time. And with our policies and stuff and NFPA standards, when it gets this hot, we can't really do anything training-wise without giving a lot of breaks and things. So we're using it for our hydrants right now. And as soon as the weather breaks, we're going to get back into the school and get a lot of operational stuff done. So I just don't see throwing inspections into the mix at all.
I'm on board, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with at least applying for the grant.
I just feel that somebody else, they should be able to give it to somebody else.
Okay. That's your direction. And number 7 is consider to purchase bunker gear replacement for the fire department. 3 sets for $5,256 and some change, I think, 60 cents. Oh, $5,256.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Stewart. Aye. Reeves.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Motion carried. Item number 8 is consider awarding the contract for the Mount Pleasant Street Lift Station Upgrade Project to Keokuk Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $355,296. Am I right, Dave?
Correct.
At the number? Yeah.
Wonder where he was at.
This was the only bid we received, correct?
That's the only bid we got, yeah. And we had to check with our bonding attorney about the new TIF regulations that also went into effect, but everything was okay with them to where we can go ahead and award the contract.
Yeah, since we agreed to pay this out of TIF several months ago, we had that discussion in the minutes, and we actually did an internal loan for the engineering a while ago. That puts us in on the old rules and not the new rules, so we're good to go on this.
Dave, can you explain why there's such a difference between your engineering estimate and what they came up with like item number 4 and item number 6? I mean, it's like on item number 4, you estimated 8,000 and they came up with 55,900. Item number 6, you estimated 49 and they came up with 72. That's a big difference. How come? Am I getting gold-plated piping or what?
Copper. No, it definitely won't be gold-plated.
I don't know specifically, I haven't discussed it with the contractor, but I would say oftentimes we see these kinds of variations in bid items within the list between our estimate and that of contractors. We also see significant differences from one contractor to another very frequently on individual items as well. Some of it can be just how they view the project or that particular work item. It could be too that they place more emphasis on one item or another in terms of placing their costs there for bidding purposes and for payment purposes.
I do notice on item number 1, they're considerably lower than your estimate.
Yeah, there's the 50,000 right back.
It seems odd you could be that far apart.
It is, I would say, the percentage unusual to have some of those differences that's significant, particularly like number 4. I did the cost estimating myself, and I didn't consider that to be a particularly difficult scenario, but perhaps the contractor did, or since we don't spell out every work item in the project, we only list 13 items there. If they have other items that aren't specifically listed, they're going to have to put that cost somewhere, and perhaps he just chose to put more of it there. Or very possibly, it's just that he feels that's the cost of that actual item of work.
Okay.
Depending on if you use subcontractors too, will that make a little difference?
Yes, it could. And in this case, I don't know if they are, but it's my understanding from what I've heard of them and speaking to them that they would probably do the majority of this work themselves, both because they are involved in underground work, and they also are involved in what I would call process piping or plant type work as well. I would perhaps be more concerned too if we had a number of items that were unit priced as opposed to lump sum as these are, in that if they were to off balance their bid, say on lineal feet of buried pipe or square yards of concrete paving, that could, if they have an anticipation of those amounts increasing or decreasing or something else changes, how they unit price their items could ultimately make a big difference in the final cost of the project. Overall, the cost is obviously higher than I expected, or we would have estimated higher. I might add too that I'm also surprised that there was only one bid. We had several contractors that held plans and some that even returned them before the letting. I'm not sure why. I do know that in talking to one of the other plan holders, he indicated that he had something like 3 or 4 other projects that bid that same day, and he ended up making the choice not to bid this project. That may or may not be typical of other contractors as well. I also was expecting that perhaps the need for work was or is greater than perhaps it actually is. As I look at some of the contractors we're working with, they do have a significant workload. I did speak to one today who said he's working on the only project he has right now. But I've also seen the unemployment figures, certainly in the Cedar Rapids metro area, but also statewide. And to me, probably shouldn't say this, but they aren't all that bad at 5% or thereabouts, which is significantly less than the national. So perhaps there is more work there in the construction industry than I was expecting. I haven't given you a very firm, straight answer.
I know there's, at the University of Iowa hospitals, there's a lot of work going on all around there because I was up there today, so all kinds of construction work. Well, this is one of the things you guys decided a few months ago needed to be done.
Yep.
So my question is, I guess to you, Dave, and to Mr. Gifford is, this is bid's 15% higher than your estimate, and we only got one bid. So should we really be taking this, or should we be rebidding this job?
I would think normally our recommendation would be to only rebid if we financially cannot or don't feel it's appropriate to proceed with this amount. That would normally require some change in the project plans and specifications to reduce the work effort. That would in itself be justification for rebidding. Perhaps if we decide to hold this off for what I would call a significant period of time, I don't have that well defined, but I would say 6 months to a year for discussion purposes, then the change in time might have an impact too. But I'm not confident that just going out and rebidding this next month will result in more bidders or a better price.
I think you may run into some issues with this contractor that did this in good faith, and unless you significantly did something different, like Dave said, that there's always a chance it could be worse.
Yep.
Next time.
Some contractors looked at it too, I'm sure, and saw that it's not gonna be an easy project. There's gonna be a lot of manual labor down there where they can't get any equipment down there. It's gonna require guys down there trying to lift 12-inch valves, wrestling 12-inch pipe around. It's not gonna be an easy project by any means.
Well then, I make a motion to award the Mount Pleasant Lift Station project to the Keokuk contractors in the amount of $355,296.
Support.
Motion with support. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Lees.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Stewart. Aye.
Motion carried. Dave? Item number 9 is to consider payments to French Reniker for engineering services. Let's see here, one's in the amount of $1,161.80 for work on Broadway and Agency Storm Sewer project, and the other one is in the amount of $1,455.05 for the Houston Street Storm Sewer improvement.
Motion to approve both payments.
For the Broadway and Agency Storm Sewer, or?
Well, we've got some seating out on that yet, but they're pretty much done, but you'll probably see some smaller bills because they still have to, when that gets done, come back and figure out these bills for the contractor and all that. There'll be some engineering work, but it won't be a lot.
Are they gonna charge me to watch them seed?
I don't think so, but they'll have to prepare the bills and approve them, and so there'll be a little bit of work, but it won't be construction
They
observation.
watch one employee drive a little tractor thing all day and charge me to seed.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
West.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Raleigh.
Aye.
Stewart.
Aye.
Lees.
Motion carried. Don't have any old business. Anyone wishing to address council matters we did discuss or didn't discuss tonight? By rising and running. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.